We Real Reels.
Welcome to We Real Reels, the monthly podcast where we review old movies to find out if they are as good as we remember or if they smoke you. I'm your host, Panda Brandon, and with me is my half-brother, the Grizzlys, and the beautiful Koala Sam.
Hello.
This podcast does contain spoilers, and we'll be discussing the movie at length. This is a mature content podcast, so be prepared for harsh language and awkward situations. All sound clips, musics, and trailers are only used for review purposes and belong to their respective owners. Are you guys ready
Yay.
Turkey.
for this hypothetical? All right, guys. The hypothetical question. It's even got a title. It's called Breakin' in the Crypt. Imagine Morticia and Gomez Adams decide their children Wednesday and Pugsley need to embrace a more lively and macabre form of self-expression. They stumble upon the world of breakdancing, specifically inspired by a vintage tape of Breakin'.
Hey.
How would Wednesday and Pugsley Adams, with their unique dispositions and family values, interpret and incorporate breakdancing into their lives? And what kind of dance battle might they initiate or participate in that would be distinctly Adams family in style?
Bro, we're not going to bring up the mamushka.
I was literally thinking of that. It would be probably something along those lines of the mamushka.
How about that? You already had it ready.
Yep, mamushka.
Mamushka and dancing, throwing knives and shit.
Yep.
Incorporating head spins.
Well, let's go ahead and get into our first segment of what you been doing and what you gonna do.
Hey, watch it, pal. What have you been doing? What are you gonna do, huh?
All right, I'll start this off with this past month. I have gone to Comic-Con. Yeah, I went to Nashville Comic-Con, and it was pretty cool. There was a huge line outside. I went dressed as Deadpool. You know, we might post some pictures on the Instagram. We were Reels Instagram of that. It was a very good time. I had an awesome time taking pictures with people who were also dressed up. Saw a couple of people, old customers that I knew there, so that was pretty interesting. Super hot. Got real hot in that Deadpool suit.
Yeah, we waited outside for 15, 20 minutes.
Oh man, I was roasting and toasting.
Yeah.
But a lot of people did great on their costumes, man. It was pretty cool.
I wasn't like the last one we went to. I guess I had on loafers with it.
Oh, no.
No. I did get a new job, so that's pretty cool.
Woo woo.
Yeah, I just left my old job, and now
Sixth job this year.
Once I left the comic book shop, man, I just ain't been happy. Moving from job to job. Getting a new car wrap. I guess that's next month thing. We'll talk about old last month. While we're talking about the last month, I would like to say that I am so appreciative because I end up getting a flat tire, and I go through tires all the time. And I was just thinking, had this happened 2 years ago, a year ago, it would have been devastating, man. I was like, how am I going to pay for this?
It would have been very, very hard.
Yeah, and I just thought about it, and I was like, call the shop, get the tire on the way, and I was able to do that. So I'm so appreciative that I'm able to just, bad things happen, and you're just like, get a new one, let's go. And it doesn't go past me that I can do that. That's awesome. I don't know. It's just, I just really appreciate that. I don't know. I don't take it for granted. So I just want to let you know, if you're out there and you're able to do things like that, then do it and be appreciative that you can do that. Because a lot of people can't, man. A lot of people, you fucking stub your toe, go to the fucking hospital, and that's $3,000 right there.
There's some people who don't eat food to be able to pay bills.
Yeah, and some people eat bills to pay for food. So something like that. But also another thing, too, I would like to speak on is that if you don't have any friends, if you don't have any hobbies, if you're just a nobody, man, go do something. I mean, unless you're just in love with being alone and just being a fake loser, then don't change. But
they may not deem themselves as fake losers.
Well, I mean, there's certain people out there that'll just smile in your mother-loving face, and then they just don't have anything going for them. They don't do anything. They don't have friends. And it's just, I'm so like amazed by it, surprised by it, and kind of upset about it. You know, it's like, why do you exist?
Damn.
I'm just saying, like, I don't understand how somebody could just exist without even existing. You know, like they don't do much. They just,
Well, they might have some physical problems or mental problems that hold them back. You gotta.
I mean, if you do have that, but if you're just a normal individual and you just suck, like, get your stuff together. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm sorry. I went a little long about that, but yeah, next month I'm getting the car wrapped. I can't wait. We got a Wolverine theme going. The car's wrapped in an Iron Man theme now. It was pretty awesome. It's like a $10,000 wrap. It's got so many layers on it, but the next one is going to be Wolverine. I'm super excited about it. The guy's got some great ideas. His name's Zach from Veneration Vinyl.
Whoop, shout out.
If you need your wraps done, then this guy can do it. And he loves doing like cool projects like on the Camaro, because he does like, you know, like job advertisements, like wrapping a van and whatever job, you know, that you want done. But yeah, he likes doing the extra projects, the real artsy ones. Guy's got an amazing mind on him, does amazing work. Check him out. But that'll be it for me. Grizz, what you got?
Not much, man. Last month was my wife's anniversary. So
Congratulations or happy anniversary.
Thank you. We decided to go here and there. So we was trying to do like a wherever we go, we land type of thing. But honestly, we wanted to see, like, we just stayed in Pigeon Forge and just did as much stuff as we can. I wanted to like go to North Carolina, go to Virginia, places like that. But so we leave our place and we're driving to what they call Lost City, which if you guys haven't seen, it's gorgeous in there. It's the world's largest indoor, like, underground cave.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's huge. I think it's 120 feet or 200 feet or something like that, like big inside the cavern. Mm-hmm. And it's just clear water. Let me show you guys a picture here.
I'll just put it on Instagram.
Yeah, I'll put it on Instagram, but I'm going to show you guys here.
Oh.
Yeah. So they have like a little boat that you go around and they tell you what's going on in there.
That's cool.
Yeah, they have a rainbow trout that gets
in there.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so on the way to get to Pigeon Forge, Kay, like me and Kay, just bust out laughing because we drive past this house. It's a goat farm, but it has 1 million fucking chairs in the front. We don't know why.
Sell them?
No, it's just there with tables.
Just
random tables and chairs and everything.
Oh shit, that looks like maybe like somebody were trip acid, they would be seeing Alice in Wonderland having a tea party out there.
Yeah. But yeah, we try to see what different type of attractions they have in Pigeon Forge and stuff, which you already know is Dolly Parton and country music stuff. But yeah, we went everywhere, man, up there. Pretty cool. You know, it's a tourist trap, so we did the mountain coasters, we did all that stuff. But that was our 6-year anniversary. So love you, Kay. You get on my nerves sometimes. But as you know, I've been traveling more, so I got a couple of stories. I'm not gonna tell them here because I'm trying to compile a couple, and then we can do a little segment, new segment we were trying to push up.
Okay.
But at the moment, you guys know I'm driving trucks, and on the way, I'm just thinking of different stuff. So I was thinking about Memento, and I was trying to figure out what other, this is kind of like an update, kind of new thing. What other type of amnesia that they have in the world?
You just randomly thought about that.
Just randomly fucking thought about it. And so I was like, oh, what's another weird amnesia? I don't think we said it on the podcast, but it's called global transient amnesia. It's only triggered by medium to rigorous exercise, such as intercourse. So some guy fell into this and asked his wife within 2 minutes, 30 times, do you like that? And kept forgetting her answer.
And she thought it was just dirty talk. Like, yeah.
Oh my God. Like, I was laughing so hard. I was laughing so hard whenever I looked that up. But yeah, if a woman is out there and she's getting asked that many times, you've quite literally And of course, your husband's brains out.
You can't help it.
You can't help it.
Just going through it.
Another update. I've lost another 10 pounds. So I'm at 43, 44 pounds.
Whoa, congratulations. That's awesome.
Got under 280. I haven't been that small since 2 years, maybe.
Yeah.
No, it's been a while. But I'm keeping it going.
Good.
And my birthday was yesterday.
Woo, woo.
I had to work, but I'm celebrating it this week. So I'm ready to have that party. Ready to get some alcoholis.
Tomorrow.
And yeah.
Wait, are you splurging since it's your birthday? Because I know you said you haven't been drinking alcohol.
I'm not going to drink too much.
Oh, okay.
I'm over 35, so I need to calm down on drinking too much because I don't like my hangovers. It's getting like worse and worse to take care of in the morning, dude. It sucks. Anybody that's old knows the hell I'm talking about.
All right, Koala, what you got?
Okay, so what I did last month, I was able to see my oldest sister while she was here for a couple days. I am really glad my job was able to let me off a half a day, and then I was able to leave a couple hours early. So we were able to spend a lot of time together. We ended up going to a place called Painting Tree, and it's a lot of vendors in one building, and people are able to go through it, pick out what they want, and take it to the front, and the cashiers will handle it. So Panda ended up applying for that, so we're just kind of waiting to see if he got on the waiting list. But that would be a cool thing to do because then a lot of the product that we have left over from the shop, he would be able to kind of get in there and sell it out. So that would be cool. I also was able to get enough points through my Vitality to cash in, and I finally got me a steamer. So I'm super excited about that. I was able to, I haven't even opened it yet, but I've been wanting to clean out the baseboards and walls and things like that. Having an English bulldog, you wouldn't think that you would have slobber and stuff dried at the top of your freaking walls. They just shake their head and slobber goes everywhere.
I think it's any dog with jowls. I got 2 boxers and those things be doing that, and it's just the TV and everything.
Yeah, it's a pain. Working out, I have gotten a little bit better about it. It's still not where I want it to be at, so that's gonna be something what I'm gonna be able to do more next month. Let's see. I do have a funny story that our cub did. So Panda normally calls on his lunch break, and Cub and I will be eating our lunch, watching TV. So Panda is on speakerphone, and he's like, "Oh, I miss you," talking to our cub, and our cub's just like, "That's nice." I'm just like, "That's nice." That's your response? Okay.
Sure.
Let's see. The last thing what I'll do next month is I'm gonna figure out the steamer and start cleaning out the house. I feel like I'm getting so old because the fact that I'm so excited about that's such an old person thing. Keep knocking off our to-do list for the house. The problem is that you mark off a couple of things. Then when you do those things, there's more things that you see and you add to the list. So it's just a never-ending list
of things.
Yeah. We are doing our 4th of July party at our house. And then a couple days after that, we are doing our Hilton Head vacation. Yep. Super excited to get to the beach. My mother-in-law, who's going on the trip with us, literally texted me a couple days ago and was like, "Hey, this girl ended up getting shark bitten at the place that we're going to." So I was like, "Oh, damn. Okay, I guess we'll just pay attention when we get close to the water." Let's see. We also have our cub's 5th birthday at the end of the month in July. So it's just a lot of things kind of going on in July, but it's a lot of fun and exciting things. So it's exciting.
Nice.
It's a lot.
How about that?
Hey, I worked on my ums.
Well, that's all right. Let's move into our next segment of Grizzlies Anime in Arms.
It's over 9,000.
All right, this one is going to be another popular one.
Ooh.
Yeah, this one is Tech9.
Never heard
The
of
rapper,
it.
okay.
Yeah, so Tech9 is a St. Louis fast-paced rapper who has worked with artists from Tupac all the way to Kendrick Lamar. He has his own label known as Strange Music. Oh, yeah, The Gun, sorry. Yeah, so the Tech9 originally was designed The design and origin of the Tech 9 is a semi-automatic pistol designed and manufactured by Intratech. That's what the tech is for, Intratech. An American company. It was introduced in the 1980s. The caliber is 9 by 19 millimeter. It's one of the most popular handguns, especially in inner cities.
Ooh.
I know for sure it's probably been in every black gangster movie. But I got a couple more after this. All right. It says it's featured a blowback operated mechanism, a 36 round magazine capacity, which you can do more. I've seen 50 to 100 capacities.
50 to 100 ohms?
Yes.
Golly.
It's
Doing worse than me.
I know I'm bad with You ain't gotta say like, but I'm good, dude. I'm just retarded a little bit. Sorry.
Okay.
The Tech 9 gained notoriety due to its association with criminal activity and mass shootings in the 1990s with its high-capacity magazine. Legislation, due to its reputation, the Tech 9 was banned under the 1994 federal assault weapons ban. Ooh. So you can't get it anymore, but you know it.
When you hear it,
when you
feel
hear
it. Exactly.
Like I said, it has been in a bunch of popular movies, such as RoboCop 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop 102.
Bitches leave.
1 and 2, sorry. Bad Boys 2. Bullet Train. Matrix.
Oh, wow.
Games it's been in is the first 3 Far Cry's.
Ooh.
Every modern Call of Duty.
Wow.
Watch Dogs. And the most popular.
Yeah.
GTA.
Halo. Oh, okay. Right.
GTA, Vice City, San Andreas, and Liberty City.
Wow. Good games.
Yep. Great games. So it's an American, mostly black icon in the streets.
Yeah, they do come in mostly black. That's true.
Such as Tech 9, the rapper. Check him out too. I like his music.
Thank you, Grizz. Thank you. And now we're going to move on into Panda Tales.
Sit back and prepare yourself for Panda Tales.
All right, guys, as you know, Panda Tales, we find real-life stories that kind of relate to the movie that we are reviewing, and we are reviewing Breakin. So listen to this. In a sprawling, sun-drenched concrete jungle of Los Angeles where palm trees whispered secrets of a new era, there stood a place that hummed with a different kind of energy. It wasn't a glitzy Hollywood club nor a hidden back alley. It was Radiotron, a mecca, a pulsating heart for a burgeoning street culture, and the very soul of West Coast breakdancing in the 1980s. Imagine a space once just radio, an avant-garde underground club, but in 1983 a visionary young dancer named Carmelo Alvarez transformed it. He saw the passion, the raw talent, the desperate need for a safe haven for kids being cited for dancing on sidewalks and tagging walls. He opened its doors, rebranding it as the Youth Break Center Incorporated, better known as Radiotron. And suddenly, it wasn't just a club. It was a sanctuary, a school, a proving ground. From its location near MacArthur Park, Radiotron pulsed with life, especially during the day when schools let out. For a mere 75 cents, kids could enter a world where their bodies became instruments. Their creativity, their voice, the air inside vibrated with electro-funk beats and the rhythmic thud of sneakers hitting the linoleum. This was where the West Coast truly came alive. Unlike the East Coast's raw, power-focused breaking that was born in the Bronx, Radiotron nurtured a style that was uniquely LA. Here, dancers honed the intricate, often robotic movements of popping and locking, the expressive storytelling of up-rocking, and the fluid, almost liquid motions that would define the California funk styles. They weren't just mimicking, they were innovating, pushing the boundaries of what a human body could do. Legends were born and refined within those walls. Shabba-Doo and Boogaloo Shrimp, future stars of Breakin', perfected their signature moves there. A young, hungry Ice-T held court as an MC, his voice weaving through the beats. Crews like the Air Force crew practiced endlessly, their synchronized routines and individual flourishes a testament to the hours poured into their craft. Even Michael Jackson reportedly visited recruiting dancers from Radiotron for his iconic Thriller video.
Allegedly.
Radiotron was more than just a dance floor. It was a community. It was a place where kids, many from challenging backgrounds, found a sense of belonging, respect, and purpose. It was multicultural, multi-ethnic, and fiercely inclusive. Here, a kid could transform from being an outcast to being a respected artist. Their skills on the floor earning from the admiration of their peers. The raw energy of Radiotron caught the eye of filmmaker Topper Carew. His name was Topper Carew, who brought his cameras inside to create the documentary Breakin in Entering. He captured the sweat, the passion, the electrifying battles, and the profound impact this space had on the lives of young dancers. This documentary, in turn, became the direct inspiration for the blockbuster film Breakin. Sadly, like many urban legends, Radiotron's physical presence was fleeting. In 1985, despite desperate community efforts and protest, a story that even inspired Breakin 2 Electric Boogaloo, the building was demolished for the construction of a mall. But the spirit of Radiotron lived on. It etched an indelible mark on hip-hop history, demonstrating that breakdancing wasn't just a fad, it was a powerful artistic expression, a vibrant subculture, and a beacon of hope for a generation. The movements, the styles, and the ethos born within its walls continue to echo in the breakdancing crews around the world, a testament to the humble club near MacArthur Park that helped define an entire era. You know, they buried Franklin Hatchet up there at MacArthur Park. They tried to find him.
Man, I couldn't find him.
But that was the first story. I have
my goodness.
part 2.
That was so long.
And you're so stupid. In the quiet town of Beaumont, a tragedy led Reverend Shaw Moore to ban public dancing and unchaperoned youth gatherings. This changed when Ren McCormick, a spirited transplant from Chicago, arrived. Bewildered by the town's strictness, Ren began to subtly challenge the beat ban, teaching his peers, including the Reverend's daughter, Ariel Moore, how to move. Ren's passionate arguments, often met with fierce opposition from Reverend Moore and Sheriff John Wiseman, ignited a quiet rebellion among the youth. Through compelling speeches and a memorable confrontation involving a tractor and some dynamic footwork, Ren fought for the right to expression. Ultimately, he convinced the town council to allow a senior dance, making a joyous, defiant return of rhythm and hope to Beaumont.
Hey.
How about that, guys?
I only know the first part of the song. Footloose.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Something.
Anyways, let's go ahead and get into our
story. What did you talk
Yeah,
about?
what are you talking about? Let's get into our movie review. But before we do, we like to enjoy our movie review with an adult beverage. And this month's adult beverage is Evan Williams. Straight bourbon. There are traditions, and then there are legends. And for over 2 centuries, one name has embodied the very spirit of Kentucky bourbon, Evan Williams. Step back in time to 1783. The American frontier was still finding its footing, and on the banks of the mighty Ohio River, a visionary distiller named Evan Williams set up his stills. He wasn't just making whiskey, he was crafting history, establishing Kentucky's very first commercial distillery. It was here in the heart of what would become bourbon country that the timeless art of distilling was born. Fast forward to today, and that same pioneering spirit flows in every bottle. We honor Evan Williams' legacy by continuing to produce bourbon the right way, with time-honored methods and a dedication to quality that has never wavered. Each sip is a testament to the rich soil, the limestone-filtered water, and the unwavering craftsmanship that define Kentucky's native spirit. From its inviting medium amber hue to its nose alive with deep vanilla and a hint of fresh mint, even Evan Williams offers an experience unlike any other. On the palate, notes of rich oak, warm brown sugar, and sweet caramel mingle in perfect harmony, leading to a smooth, lingering finish that whispers of tradition. Whether you're raising a glass to history, celebrating a moment, or simply unwinding after a long day, choose the bourbon that started it all. Evan Williams, straight bourbon. Taste the legacy. Experience the tradition. Do bourbon right. There's no specific database to like how many movies this has been in, but it's a very old and popular alcohol, so I know it's been in a lot. I can only find one for sure, which was Saving Private Ryan.
Never heard of it.
And it's Never Heard of You.
I'm going to.
Been around since the Tombstone days.
Breakin, and you just don't stop. Here comes the movie that's fresh and hot, with high energy, dancing to the beat with a scratch mix sound that comes from the street. This movie is unique.
You've got the talent.
She ain't no street dancer.
So go and tell your peers, the movie you long for is finally here, with action, style, and beautiful girls.
You looking at death, man. Come on, sucker, right now. She was good.
I'm better.
Who do you think you are anyway, Fred Astaire? Who?
Don't be mistaken, you've got to see Breakin.
All right, we are reviewing Breakin, and as of June 2025, you can watch it on Amazon, Apple TV, or Fandango at home, or you can buy it on physical or digital. It is directed by Joel Silberg, who also did Rappin', Bad Guys, Catch the Heat, Lambada, and Prison Heat. He also did a lot of foreign titles as well. This movie is starring Shabba-Doo, Lucinda Dickey, Michael Chambers, Bruno Falco, Ice-T, Phineas Newborn III, Ben Loki, Cooley Jackson, and Christopher McDonald. It came out on May 4th, 1984. Other movies that came out on or in May of 1984 were 16 Candles, Firestarter, The Natural, Indiana Jones, and The Temple of Doom.
Hey.
It made $37.8 million on a $1.2 million budget.
Dang.
How about that?
Jesus.
How about that? That's the money.
Look at me for money. God dang. There's some crazy numbers right.
Especially back in the day.
Shabba-doo.
Shabba. See if we can taste this caramelized vanilla.
Yeah, real caramelly. It's been vanilla.
That's rough.
Rough and tough. You heard it, ladies. Ladies. Whew. It's like I'm drinking my own urine. I like it.
Gonna put some hair in your chest.
Because it's sterile. And I like the taste.
That's no more for me. That's nasty.
The plot of Breakin is Breakin follows Kelly, Special K, Benet, a talented jazz dancer who feels constrained by traditional dance. She discovers West Coast breakdancing through street performers Ozone and Turbo on the beach. Captivated by their style, Kelly befriends them. After Ozone and Turbo suffer a humiliating defeat in a dance battle against rivals Electro Rock, Kelly joins their crew. She learns breakdancing while integrating her jazz and ballet skills, helping them fuse their diverse styles. Their ultimate goal is to win a prestigious dance competition. Despite competition's traditional focus, the trio performs a groundbreaking breakdancing routine. Surprising the judges, their innovative performance wins them the competition, validating breakdancing as a legitimate art form and successfully bridging the gap between street and traditional dancing. And we start off with an opening credit scene, which is what a lot of older movies did. You know, they did all their credits in the beginning. Mm-hmm. A lot of dance movie, a lot of music going on, and these guys, everybody's dancing.
It's horrible CGI'd like picture directed by.
Yeah.
Starring.
And this was a new craze in the 80s, man. This was like Pokemon Go, what you know now, where everybody just took up on it and did it. This was breakdancing. People just outside just breaking dancing. You know what I'm saying? They was dancing and breaking and popping and locking and all kind of stuff just everywhere.
A lot of interesting outfits.
That's for true. The first scene is this diner where we're introduced to Kelly, who is a waitress there. She meets an old friend and she talks about dyeing her... okay.
Already.
Yeah. She talks about dyeing her toes because she's a dancer. Oh, dyeing on her toes. I guess that's what she's talking about, dying on her toes because she's a dancer, and that's all she wants to do. Well, her friend says, you're going to die in your toes, dancing or working here. That's when her boss is like, come on, get back to work, Kelly.
Already just a douchebag for no reason.
You don't know that. She's just lazy, talking to people all the time.
Man, no, she don't never do a job.
Yeah.
She always dancing in the back.
Also, did we...
What's she doing?
I kind of forgot to state this, but it was weird that she was zoning off because she was kind of also almost her fault that the guy almost dropped her food, because at the very beginning she was just kind of like lollygagging and like she was able to spin and get out of it, but he almost dropped the food and she just kind of looked back and she just kind of like went on. I'm like, bro, that was like your fault.
And the boss is the asshole, huh?
Yeah.
Man, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's zoning off at work, motherfucker. Get my food. Sorry.
Well, the next scene is of her practicing in her dance class, and after their practice, the coach says, "Hey, I can give you some points, if you got some time." But it does all creepy like, And she's like, yeah, maybe some other time. And she goes outside and she has this super gay black friend.
I personally would not be putting some underwear over the Spanx. That just seems too much.
Sam, if you look at any movie from the 80s, this was the popular thing to wear. People was wearing this down the street. I got aerobics, or what was that stuff that they used to say?
Oh.
The not the calisthenics, what stuff ladies used to do.
Oh.
Oh, man.
So they're wearing underwear
Spandex.
under the leggings, putting the
Yes.
leggings on, and then putting this
Yes.
thicker underwear over.
Yes.
That's too many layers. Just think that you got to pull all that down when you have to pee and then pull it all the way back up when you're done. That's too much. That is way too much.
I like it would come off in just one swoop.
No, because the leggings, if it's not like when you pull it up, it's not going to be all like even in form. It could be all like clumpy unless you're wearing a thong with it. But if you're wearing like some bikini underwear, like you're going to have to make some adjustments to make sure there's no lines showing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, too much.
Well, it was so popular that men and women was doing this back in the day. So,
My God.
you don't know your fashion.
I am totally fine with that.
Well, she goes outside and she has this super gay black friend who wants a ride somewhere. And he's saying how much she's going to love where they're going, this place.
They don't want you for your body. They want you for your skills or whatever the hell he said.
Well, she agrees to go. And the next scene we see is a bunch of break dancers kind of on this square out on the city. Like they're on the beach, but there's like this little platform that's just meant for, I don't know, I guess dancing. Kelly and her gay friend, you get his name?
I got it later on down the thing. I don't remember. Franco was the dancer teacher.
Well, they show up and everybody's having a great time. Kelly gets introduced to Ozone and his friend out there dancing. But while they're dancing, there's a guy in the back in a black unitard who looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme. I don't know if y'all saw this, but he was in a black unitard back here. He looked like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I just seen his muscles.
Yep.
But
This
also
dude.
when Kelly got introduced to Ozone, he said hi, but like she didn't even look at him. And then also Kelly calls the gay black friend cupcakes.
Well, good old cupcakes. But while they're dancing and having fun, it looks like some rival dancers show up and kind of challenge Ozone to a dance contest. And instead of meeting them on the floor, he decides to leave. Kelly, he's introduced to his partner, Turbo.
He's so mean looking. He's just like mean mugging her.
Yeah,
and then he's yawning, and then like he just seems straight up rude.
He is not fond of Kelly, and that's okay. Ozone kind of looks like my little brother Camden, but the acting is terrible.
Yeah, all of it. Not
It
good.
seems like you can tell when the characters are like, you can tell when they're on cue when it's like, hey, action. They roll the camera a little too soon, and they're like, okay, start walking now. But before Kelly leaves, Ozone calls her Special K. And she's like, what? And he's like, every dancer needs a street name. So he gave her a street name.
Was this before or after she asked why they're called Turbo and Ozone? And then, what is it? Turbo was just like, only our friends call us that. You can call us this. Like, I would not be asking somebody why their names or why they are what they are. I just feel like it's kind of rude.
Well, the next scene is at the dance practice hall again, where Kelly and her group are training, and the instructor is in another room, I guess telling somebody you can't guarantee they're going to win a dance contest. But as they're dancing, Ozone and Turbo show up, and they come in to see the other dancers practicing, and they like the music, so Turbo decides he's going to start dancing with them.
I would not just come into somebody else's class uninvited and just start dancing. Like, these people are paying for this class.
Well, he starts showing off these cool moves, and it starts doing some crazy moves up in there where it looks like he's colliding or like sliding on the floor, man. This dude's good. And then the instructor comes in and cuts the music off, but he continues to
He
dance.
just keeps dancing.
And then it gets kind of weird. He gets this weird look on his face, and he's like, oh, you gotta be careful with this guy. So he tells him that you are wasting my time, and my time is valuable. That's what the instructor says. And that you need to leave. He was talking to Turbo. But that's when Ozone comes in and he's like steps up. And he's like, hey, if you want to talk to him, You can talk to me. It's terrible acting.
It was good that he stood up for it, but literally, like, the next scene, he just once again backed away and just walked away. Like, it's been how long? 20 minutes of this movie, and this is the second time that he's kind of like chickened out and just walked away.
Yeah.
Like, not looking good.
I get the message he was saying. He tells Ozone, if you're still good at dancing, show me what you got. And it seems that Ozone doesn't like competition. Or like you said, he just doesn't like showing off or something. And yeah, he decides to leave. But before they do, Turbo says, hey, man, you owe me $7. And the instructor says, for what? Showing you how to dance, sucker.
And he moonwalked out of there.
Style,
I was like,
baby.
okay, like this man, like, or kid, I don't know how old he is. He seems childlike, but at least he's standing up for himself, but also finishing it out.
My thing is, there's no other black people in this dance class because you would have heard,
Well,
damn,
the gay black man, he's in there, cupcakes.
that don't count.
Well, okay. So after that, so you know how at the very beginning she's kind of like standoffish with him being like weird and creepy, even though she's smiling and stuff. She, after this scene, went to Franco, the dance instructor, and apologized for them. Like, I think that's so dumb. Franco didn't know that they were there because of her. Like, I think she's putting herself in a position of him flirting with her further. Like, it was just so unnecessary for her to go and apologize.
Well, at that time, Franco says that they're going to be into a choreographing.
I don't know.
Dance contest.
Yeah, for the contest. And she hugs him and says, that's great. And he's like, well, I'm tough sometimes, but there's a reason for that. And so he starts to display what dance he's going to, choreograph with Kelly. And while he's dancing and performing, he says, as those street kids don't know what it takes. And Kelly tries to defend them, but he's like, it takes more than talent. You got to be tough. And he tells Kelly that you have talent and reaches out for her hand and she grabs his and they start to dance together. They start getting into a real passionate dance and she's doing really good, but he gets her up against the mirror and kisses her. And she pushes him off and and says, what are you doing? And he goes in for another kiss. And I don't know.
Just like you were supposed to do back in the 80s.
I guess you get
You don't care. Hey, don't no woman talk to me about nothing. What did the dude say about that on the video?
What are you talking about?
What's that damn video?
I don't know what you're watching, man.
Is that one dude that was on Tires Point Out?
Oh, my goodness.
Like, can't a woman tell me nothing. I'll just tell her to shut up or something like that.
Oh, there's a dude out on the front lawn. Yeah, he's an idiot. I don't know what's going on.
I feel like Kelly she gives off, what is it, tease vibes, or what is it called when like she's teasing him, but then she's like in the end she kind of like backs away because she doesn't truly want it. But is it like prick tease? Like what? There's a word for it. I don't know what it is, but I think that's what she's doing.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. She tries to leave, but her car won't start. The next scene is a convenience store.
Also, did you see that he followed her out and then she's just like yelling at the car or whatever. And he's just standing there looking at her.
Well, the next scene is at a convenience store that I guess Ozone and Turbo run, or at least stock and clean up. Ozone tells Turbo to go outside and sweep up a little bit. So he goes outside with his stereo and he starts doing this crazy breakdance. And he is really good at dancing, like crazy breakdancing with his broom, where he looks to perform magic. Although you can see the strings in some of the scenes where he has his broom floating. But nonetheless, the dancing was impressive.
It was great.
Was he trying to perform magic? Or they just like, what were they trying here? It just seemed like the broom.
Just dance with the broom. Like, you don't have a partner, make the broom your partner. And it looked pretty cool.
It looked pretty cool. Well, when he's done dancing, the guys who tried to do a dance contest earlier at the beach with the electro jackets show up. And Ozone says, hey, Turbo, have you finished cleaning up? And he says, yeah. So they go outside to take a look. And that's when the guys show up and they tell him, or at least one little Hispanic dude, and then the other black dude. Is he Hispanic? Half black? I don't know. He tells him
he's more Hispanic.
He's Puerto Rican.
He tells him, "You're dead, man, and we'll show. We'll show up instead of twice."
I like this crap talking that they got.
Yeah, and they challenge him to a dance off on Friday night, and Ozone agrees. He says, "All right, we're gonna show up. What's up?
Yeah, you show up, we gonna smoke you, man.
My thing that kind of killed me with this scene was, one, everybody's bad acting, but two, the guys didn't just show up.
They showed out.
No, they stopped at, like, there wasn't even light or anything. They literally seen this guy and pulled over on the side of the road and came over just to bother them. Like, that's so unnecessary.
That's what haters is for.
So unnecessary.
Well, the next scene, Turbo and Ozone, they're in this garage and they start to train for Friday night. And one's like, man, what do we have to prove? You know we don't. We don't have to prove nothing to these guys. And that's Ozone trying to, I don't know, I guess, talk himself out of going to do this dance battle.
Like, man, he
just seems
chicken.
wimpy. Yeah, he just seems, I don't know. Is it confidence? Does he not have confidence in himself? Like, is that what it is?
And Turbo's like, you know, everybody's going to bag us if we don't show up. They're going to bag on us, man.
Was this the scene where he's wearing blue sweatpants? Because they were so tight and you can see a lot.
And there's some punks.
It don't matter. Every guy in here has a cutoff shirt and tight shorts.
And Ozone's like, yeah, you know what? Let's show them how to do it. Like we always do. You know what? And Turbo says, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. So he puts down the cigarette and he just lit, and they start practicing again. Then we see Kelly at her job where her gay friend shows up and talks to her about what happened at the dance club. She doesn't really want to say...
Adam, that's his name. Cupcakes is Adam. The gay black friend. Yep, is Adam.
Okay. Well, he's telling her what happened at the thing at the nightclub where I guess they backed off that first time. But she's talking about her life and she wants to do something else because she believes her life is getting stale. And he gets a little grief from the chef. But he's like, my dad's a health and safety inspector. And the chef's like, oh, okay. Oh, all right, man. Take
anything you want. Anything you want.
But Kelly tells him that she got her agent back to work again. And then we see her talking to him, giving him headshots. And she's telling him what she wants to do.
Sorry. Before you get to this scene, the scene where Adam comes in because he came into her job, his pants are so tight. Everything is like pushed to the right side. Like, good Lord.
Is the only thing you see in the tight pants, Sam?
Have y'all not noticed?
This is the 70s and 80s. You expect tight pants, bro.
Man.
Not noticed, but...
I'm making the assumption that Adam and Kelly are friends. Like, they're best friends. But she never once told Adam about Franco. I would have told Adam about Franco. Because it seems to me that the reason why she's wanting to kind of expand her horizons is because of how Franco's been acting. But then also she's kind of made it seem that like Franco is a friend because she kind of made a comment to Adam about how he's a friend or something like that.
Well, she talks to her agent, gives those headshots, and he's like, okay, let's see what we can make happen. Then we see Kelly auditioning for a part where they tell her that they're looking for a blonde. And then,
tall blonde.
Yeah, when she puts on the wig, the auditions, they're looking for a brunette, a short hair brunette. Mm-hmm. And she gets upset and leaves, and Adam's the gay guy. I'm sorry, he's just so gay. And that's okay. That is okay. And she's...
Happy Pride Month, everybody.
That's right. Happy Pride Month. And she's kind of frustrated. And they're walking down the street talking. And then we're seeing full nips on this one.
Yes,
okay?
Both.
See, that's what the problem is. The guys look the waist up, the women look the waist down. Okay.
I noticed them too.
Yeah, I don't remember this scene, so let's just go to the next one.
Yeah, well, Adam says that Franco still asks about her and wants her back. But she's like, nah, I'm not doing that. So she talks to her agent, and he says he's got some good things coming, so be patient.
Well, also, he made a comment that this was her first day auditioning. She's already getting on my nerves because she's only gone through a couple of auditions and she's already complaining about it because she didn't automatically get something the first day that she auditions. And then also she made a comment about when she was talking to Adam, well, I don't know if this is what I really want to do. Like, what the heck?
You got an agent and everything. What the hell are you talking about?
This is what you want to do. Like, I'm sorry. I know she's a white female, but she cannot be that all high and mighty and expect something the very first day. Like, come on now.
Well, then we go to Friday night, where Ozone and Turbo are taking on the guys from the Electro crew, where Ice-T is now rapping and somebody on the turntables got some ninja gloves scratching the records to dance off. It continues with both teams the same equal. They're battling out. move for move, dance step for dance step. But then Ozone and Turbo get the upper hand. But just when they think they've won, the other team pulls out a female
That
who
seems
I
cheating.
personally don't think is doing a good job.
Oh, yeah.
She out there shaking and look like she convulsing, doing the Elaine. But I guess the crowd is also terrible actors. They're supposed to think that this team is really good, but you don't get that feeling because a lot of the guys are still just standing there looking around, looking at the opposite team, and Ozone is seeing that he's beat because they got 3 people and just him and Turbo, and so
I guess they automatically thought they got beat.
yeah, you can't compete. So they walk off, and Turbo says as they're walking off, "We showed them, we burn them dudes." Ozone says, "You're whack, man, fool." And he's going to backhand him, man. Why did he do that? What's wrong with him, man? You fool.
But before they started dancing, it was just them 4 people, the 4 men, just staring at each other, mean mugging, while everybody else was dancing around.
Hey,
It seemed weird. But then that's when Kelly and Adam showed up, and then that's kind of like when they started dancing off. I don't know. That scene could have been just done better.
Well, the next day, Kelly's driving with Adam, and she's like, "I really liked last night. The energy was amazing, and everything was awesome." And he's like, "Yeah, I told you. That's what you need." And then we see Ozone and Turbo, where Ozone is kind of upset about those guys beating them in the dance-off. And they're in that garage still. And that's when they see Kelly pulling up. And they decide to clean up a little bit and make it look like they've been practicing dancing all day.
Yeah,
Ozone wanted that. Turbo didn't care.
Ketchup bottle and freaking candy bar wrappers and stuff. I was like, bro, I don't even see a refrigerator in this damn apartment. What the heck is going on?
Kelly comes in and says that you guys were great last night. Turbo says, I would burn any girl that puts her face to me. Well, Kelly says, I was better than that girl. And Adam says, I have a great idea.
Who says that?
Well, people who have great ideas.
No, not the whole great idea part. Who says, oh, I'm better than her? Like, they're in two completely different.
Really confident in their skills. Because she looked like she was convulsing on that.
Yeah.
Like she was having a heart attack.
I'm better than her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, in your 30s?
By God.
Okay.
I can smoke that fool.
We can smoke them. Let's go.
Yeah.
I just think it was very, I don't know.
Shallow and pedantic.
Maybe.
Well, that's what I was looking for.
I don't know what pedantic means, but.
But Adam's like, I have a great idea. Why don't she join you? And then Turbo doesn't like the idea, but they start this montage of them dancing together.
Teaching a white girl how to dance. Let's go.
And during the montage, she's getting better at dancing, and Turbo's warming up to her more and more. And they end up becoming an actual trio.
Hey.
There was a cool scene in this montage where they each wear their initials on of their names: Turbo, Kelly, and Ozone. TKO. And then there's a scene where Turbo and Kelly are dancing, and they accidentally smack heads. But it's pretty funny. I guess they kept it in the film, though, because they turned at the wrong time. And they both hit heads, and they were like, oh, it's okay.
Is this? I feel like this is a scene where they keep taking shots of the crotch shots.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know what movie you're watching.
No, because every single time, they would not zoom in, but they would only do belly down. I mean, they're probably showing the moves of their feet and stuff, but you can see that from afar. We don't have to be zoomed in.
No, I gotta let people know, hey, if you pause it right here and put it in slow motion, this is how you do these steps.
There you go. Well, I suppose it's the next day or maybe a week later. Not sure. But Kelly wants to take the guys out to eat. But Ozone insists that he pays, and while they're waiting, the waitress asks if Turbo's a dancer, and he says, yeah. But there's some country boys that are, in the back just being jerks, and Turbo gets up and throws his drink on one of them. And he gets up and pushes Turbo into another guy. That guy turns around and punches the first guy. And then it just starts a whole brawl.
We got a brawl.
Yeah, this dang little eatery.
Bar fight.
Well,
it seemed these guys were really itching to fight. They were just waiting for it.
That's the
Didn't
crazy
matter
thing,
who.
though, is that this is the middle of L.A., Los Angeles, the most progressive town ever in the U.S., right? I've never seen a country boy in California, let alone L.A.
Not that type of country boy.
Not that type of country, right?
Well, also, once again, this was a scene where Ozo stood up and said something, but then he just sat back down and did nothing. And that's when Turbo took it into his own hands. But also, before they even get to this scene, Kelly said that she'll treat lunch, but then Ozo's, like you said, will be assistant. Or what's the word? What's the word you said?
Assassinated.
No,
Yeah.
persistent.
okay.
You said he was very persistent, but she was like, no, I got it. So they went back and forth a couple times, but then Ozone was like, no, like I got it. And then she's like, okay, cool, thank you. But then Ozone looked at her like, I don't like, no, you should have actually gotten it. Did you get that part?
No, I didn't get that vibe.
Yeah, I got that vibe
Felt
where
like he was the man, and he was like, I got to take care of this. You know?
yeah, but then when she ended up saying like thank you, he kind of like looked at her like, I wasn't actually going to treat everybody. I don't got that money.
I didn't get that.
Oh, I got that vibe.
He's a professional breakdancer. He got all kind of monies.
He's not a professional breakdancer. He's a street
the best
dancer.
there is.
That's what they said.
So
He
the
won
team,
all the competitions.
the team ends up leaving after they finish their brawl, and some lady smashes a chair on a guy's back. Like, that's what I was saying. These people were ready to fight.
Yes.
They do this every time. Somebody comes in and like, hey, oh, brawl!
Yeah.
They loved it. They
Somebody
loved
got hit in the head with a bottle. Thrown from the second floor.
it. Later that night, Ozone takes Kelly home, and they find some kind of gift basket at her door, and he's like, who's this from? Your boyfriend? And she says, no, it's from my agent. He could do a lot for us, is what she says to Ozone. And he says, well, I was thinking that, and she says, well, I'll see you tomorrow. It was kind of weird, but
She's not
I don't
picking
know.
up what he's dropping down. But also, I think the agent is stepping over boundaries. Like, it's supposed to be a very professional setting, and he's supposed to be getting her jobs, but he's already asked her out on a date, and then he's sending her fruit. Like, she hasn't even actually gotten a job. So doesn't really seem like she's that great of like a dancer, so I don't understand why I feel like Franco was trying to date her, and then the agent's trying to date her, and then Ozone likes her. Like, what's so special about her? Because so far I haven't really picked up on what everybody else
she's
is.
cute, athletic, okay?
I mean, she got a good body. She's got a dancer body,
And that's
but
all guys need.
your personality is whack. That drops down your looks.
This is the woman saying that YouTube.
Yeah,
so,
that's post.
yeah, we-
That's post-cum clarity. That's when you realize it. Until then, it's fine. Yeah, she may be a little, grouchy, but it's fine. Anyways, the next day, her agent is going off on her for wanting to be a street dancer, saying that there's more than just being a street dancer. And she's like, you don't understand. You have to see it. But he's like, street dancers belong on the street, not in Broadway. And Kelly explained that there's more heart and soul into this dance than you realize, and you need to see it first. Just get us into the contest, and I guarantee you we'll win. She tells them to come to the dance tonight because we're going to fight against electro rock.
So she's already changed up. Like, since she's been with Ozone and Turbo, her style, like her dress style, is completely different. Definitely already different.
She ain't got underwear on the outside of her Spanx. No. The thing that got me was she said some word. I forgot what the word was. And he was like, see, now they're turning you street. What's going on?
So this is where I don't really get it. Are they just having an issue with it because it's not professional, or
They said that it's not professional enough for their.
But I mean, like, dancing. Like, if it looks good, it looks good. Like, I don't.
Especially, what type of dances is this? Jazz dancing.
Like,
come on, dude. What?
Spirit fingers.
Yeah.
Well, at the dance battle, Ozone and Turbo are wondering where Kelly's at. Cupcake says,
Adam.
Adam. Andy. Adam says, she'll be here. Don't worry. That's when she shows up with her agent
On her arm.
And he's kind of worried that he's overdressed, but he shows up and introduces himself to the dancers, and Ozone doesn't really like that. The agent, but that's when Electro Rock shows up.
Before you get to that, so I think they messed up in this scene because Kelly came in with her agent, and Ozone and Turbo were already there waiting on her. I feel like it would have looked better as if they came in as a group. The three people who are dancing came in as a group.
Well, they couldn't come in as a group because that's the surprise on this one. Like, they're going to surprise the other group.
Yeah, like they did to him. The two other guys.
Yeah.
Ozone and,
Well, I mean, at least came in at the same time. Like, it didn't have to be like all three walking in together then, but like similar times, not them waiting on her.
Well, Electro Rock shows up and starts talking more trash, and Ozone's had enough. And that's when the dance-off starts. Electro Rock start off with the three of them against Ozone and Turbo, and they hold their own. Ozone and Turbo show off some killer moves. Even the agent is starting to get into it. And that is when Kelly flips out there and starts showing her moves.
They need to fix their faces.
It's really, she just came out and just started flipping, and then they won the contest. She really didn't do too much.
Well, the Electro Rock is completely shocked. They don't know what to do. They ain't got nothing left. They can't show nothing else. And the group starts to celebrate. Ozone and the crew wins as Electro Shock or Electro Rock leave the building. The agent congratulates all of them and says that Ozone and the way he danced is incredible and that Kelly was right. Everything was phenomenal. Kelly had to say goodbye to Ozone, and the way he left just, it felt like he felt some type of way that he really wanted to celebrate with her.
Well, I mean, she came with the dude, so it looked more like them two are dating in a way. But also, when the first battle went down, Ozo was like, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." But then those go around like he's constantly touching the other team and dancing onto the other team. And then the agent, I think his name's James, he kept clapping very offbeat.
Well, he is white.
And then also, that is very true. Also, they didn't really dance as a group. Like, it just seemed like it was Ozo and then Turbo dancing together.
Ozone.
Not
Ozo.
Ozone.
He ain't Bozo the Clown.
Ozone. Wait,
he's Ozone.
I've been saying Ozone.
You said Ozo.
Oh, Ozone.
The whole time.
Good
and
old Ozo.
Turbo, like, they've been dancing together, but then just Kelly kind of on her own.
Ozo and Turbo.
But then
Tobo.
Also, I think Ozone is bipolar because at the very beginning he was like mean mugging James, the agent. But then once they won, he's just like, "Oh, happy, happy, happy." And then like James gave him like "Oh, you're dancing great, yada yada yada." And then he's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, thanks, man." Like actually talking to him, and I think he's bipolar. I think that's what it is.
He's happy as one.
I wouldn't have came with James. I think she keeps giving off signals to all these dudes that she's interested, and she's actually not.
Well, the next day, Kelly comes to tell Ozone about a dance contest where there's going to be judges from across the country. Ozone says that they don't want to give our kind a chance. They don't want to see us dance, and Kelly tries to convince him. Ozone says that they're just afraid of getting raped and mugged.
Well, does Ozone and Turbo even want to go pro? Because it just seems like it's something that she's truly wanting to do.
I think it's something he wants to do, but he doesn't believe the system will let him and his kind do that.
Gotcha.
He says, "I don't care," and he kind of gets upset that she tells him that the agent, James, is having a party, and you're more than welcome to come if you want. She gives him the address. That is where they need to go. Well, we get to the party, and James is shaking hands with a bunch of people. Acting is still terrible. He seems too young for the part of this like experienced agent.
Also, for James, have you noticed he kind of reminds me, is it Anakin Skywalker?
He do got the same eyes.
Yeah, it's like the eyes or his hair, like something. I was like, that can't be him.
No, that's not him. Kelly walks in, but when she does, it seems like you could see it right, like when they said, "Hey, Kelly, start walking." Like when she comes in, the camera goes to her. It's like she's just standing still, and they're like, "Go." And then she starts walking. It seems like you can tell when their cue is. It's
not natural.
Yeah, it's terrible. But there's no Ozone Turbo. There is Ozone Turbo because they show up and people kind of look at them kind of strange and they're kind of dressed out of place. But Turbo doesn't seem to care. Some ladies start coming up on Turbo and he's looking at the food and the guy tells him that it's hog head cheese. And he asks the ladies if they want some, and they're like, "Oh, no." And that's when James wants Kelly to meet some people. And one of those people is Franco.
I don't get why Kelly would not tell James about Franco. Like, I would have told him, I would have told my agent, "Hey, I danced with Franco. I left him because of so-and-so." And then just to avoid all these issues.
You need to think about the time that it's in. We're in the 80s.
It was still my hindsight.
We're in the 80s.
I don't care what time frame it is.
So again, all right, let me put this to Xavier then. Xavier.
Yes.
We're in the 1830s.
So I'm in chains. And,
yeah. And you're saying, oh, you're going to tell him how you feel.
Massa? Yeah. Okay.
That's not going to make sense because you're going to get whipped, beaten, and probably killed.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the 80s. You're a woman. You tell somebody, oh, he tried to rape me, he tried to kiss me, he tried to something.
Well, he didn't
then you're going to get smacked, beat in the face, and you can push down even lower because nobody's going to believe you because we're in the 80s.
But
Hashtag Me Too didn't happen to what, 3-4 years ago?
But she wasn't trying, like, nothing. Yes, he kissed her, but that's not rape. That's not rape. She could have just explained it. Hey, we left. I didn't leave on great terms. If I couldn't avoid him, then I will avoid him. But I would make it in a professional setting and manner instead of just being, what's this word? Completely surprised.
Pragmatic. Sam, act as if you're talking to Bill Cosby when you say this in the 80s. Right? How much of
I get it.
Yeah. How much of an opinion does that count? Like, he'd be like, I don't care. You fucking pudding, pop, drugs, rape. I don't give a fuck.
Terrible impression.
You do better than her.
I don't know.
I forgot how his voice sounds, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens to you. You go to prison, you sound a little different.
Yeah.
Okay, anywho, Ozone also automatically comes with such a bad attitude. Like, he kind of knew what was going on.
One of the people is Franco that she's introduced to and Kelly's old dance instructor, and he kind of insults Ozone. And James tells them that that they're not amateurs because that's what Ozone was insinuating. And he saw them at the little competition thing. And he's like, hey, they were actually pretty good. What are you talking about?
Franco was insinuating that they're amateurs.
Yeah.
Not Ozone. You said Ozone.
What?
You said Ozone. You said Ozone.
Instructor kind of insults Ozone. And then
you
James
didn't say
tells them
instructor.
that the agent is the amateurs, that you call them and competing with you, and Franco's upset. I don't know what you're talking about. I won't be dancing with these people is what Franco says. But James says that they're pretty good dancers. What are you talking about? And Ozone gets upset
again
and almost chokes out old Franco, but decides to leave.
Just walking away again.
I imagine he has a past of beating the hell out of people is what I'm thinking. And like he don't want to do that no more.
You think so?
I think so. I think he can't.
He can't stop himself.
He can't act professional or something because he's about to choke the mess out of old Franco here. Mm-hmm. And he was like,
show him these streets for real.
I need to leave. I come from drugs and dangerous times. And then I got into dancing. Well, I go back to the mob stuff. But yeah, so he just leaves. He says, I'm out of here. He goes to grab Turbo and he says, hey, let's go. And Turbo says, well, what do you mean? Let's go. I'm working on a 3-picture deal with these ladies. He gets pulled away and the lady's like, hey, don't forget lunch. Mm-hmm. So he was really working on something. Mm-hmm.
He's very, I don't know, he's just got that personality that he can just talk to anybody and everybody.
I don't know what these notes are about, but it says they end up leaving and Kelly's dead. I don't know what that means.
Kelly stayed.
Kelly stayed. Yeah. She did stay, but she did go to the house.
To defend them.
Yeah. Well, she defends them, but she also goes see Ozone and
she goes to defend them, and Franco says, yeah, they're a different class of people. And Kelly says, yeah, you're right. They're in a class all by themselves. They're the best to ever dance. And she walks off on the little ballerina toes.
Yeah. Also, is this James's party or is this Franco's?
It's James' party.
James' party. Okay, because he did told Franco that I think it's best if you leave. Mm-hmm. But so my thing is that like if she would have already told James about Franco, then like the whole entire awkward scene could have just been avoided.
Well, then we see Turbo training with some new kids, I guess. On the block, I guess, from the neighborhood, and teach them how to dance. And Kelly shows up and asks for Ozone. Turbo says he hasn't seen him in a couple days, and he might be at the beach. And
she's
Turbo
smiling in this whole entire interaction with Turbo.
No, the crazy thing is that he's at the beach, and she walks to a random part of the beach and finds this motherfucker.
Say what part?
Yeah, he said, what part of the beach?
I didn't even hit that part.
Yeah.
Like,
ain't Venice Beach like fucking 7, 8, 9, 10 miles long? What the hell?
Turbo, before she leaves, Turbo's like, can't you see what's going on? And Kelly doesn't answer. And then she pulls off. And that's when she goes,
she's just
riding the beach. And I guess until she finds him, I guess we don't see that part. Or maybe she went right to him. I don't know. But he's upset and he doesn't want to talk about it. He says that she doesn't know him and that he doesn't need to get a dance contest like she does. and that he doesn't fit in because he doesn't have the right credentials. And she says, the only problem you have is you're standing in your own way. And she asks him, what are you afraid of? And he says, I don't know everything like your boyfriend, James. She says that James is just a friend, and that's why he got us a studio to rehearse him.
It shouldn't even be her friend. It's an agent. It's a professional relationship. There shouldn't be a friend or anything about it. This is her giving off signals unprofessionally and flirting with every damn body.
Well, Ozone says, come on, I want to show you something. I want to show you what real dancing is all about.
This is just so stupid of me because it's just like all dancing is real dancing.
That's not true.
How is that not true?
Have you seen Elaine dance?
Okay, I mean, like, okay, they're talking about jazz dancing or whatever she does. There's street dancing. Like, neither one of those are above the other.
Fancy dancing.
So I think it's weird. Go on.
He takes her to this little spot on the beach where people are gathered around the circle, just breakdancing. And I wonder if this was a regular thing in the 80s, man, like just a spot somewhere on the beach and people are just getting down to the music, gathering, enjoying themselves, seeing people dance. Well, he takes her to the spot and there's one guy that has like polio or something. He's got these little, these little braces.
I ain't gonna lie. Listeners, we're actually watching the movie as it's going along. I did not see this part, so I was busting out in the middle of it because I did not see this when I was at home. But these legs were just, it's like...
I thought they were fake, bro. These were his real legs.
I don't want to make fun of this guy, but...
Wait, that was seriously him?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
This looks like Joe from Family Guy, bro.
Oh.
Swinging around.
Swinging his legs.
Bro, he was dancing.
Bro, that shit looked good, but...
It's impressive that he's able to do that.
Crazy.
Yeah, like them legs were just flopping and dropping. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen.
There was no CGI. It was CGI back in the day, but not that good.
Yeah.
I feel like Kelly and Ozone didn't really resolve anything. But then also the next scene that comes to, like, they're all in the real studio, which Ozone was against that. But then he's there. So well, I don't get what Ozone's wanting. Like, I don't...
We didn't get to really, she really saw that guy dancing and she know that it was more than just a routine or a performance like this guy polio dancing because he was expressing himself. It was a feeling. So I think he believes that his dancing is better than the performance style, the choreography style, because it has so much more feeling and soul into it instead of just... Hey, get on your cue, get on your mark, do this, be right, arch this. And so I think that's what he feels. And that's what he wanted her to see, that it was more than just a performance. There must have been some kind of agreement because the next scene is James showing the crew the studio, including Ozone and Turbo. But we didn't see that agreement. We just saw Kelly looking at that dance that he wanted to see. So I guess behind the scenes, Kelly was like, I think that would have been a good actual scene to have in the movie to make to get them to see them all on the same page, because also now Ozone's completely and totally fine with James now. Yep, all good.
Like,
yeah, and then the
power of dance heals people's hearts.
That's right. And they show in the studio, including Ozone, Turbo. And the three turn on the music and they start another dance montage.
Once again, they're not really dancing together. They're dancing around each other and near each other, but that's not really of a cohesive dance.
Well, Ozone gives Kelly a kiss in one of these little dance montages.
Yeah, I seen
so
that
was
seems
a little
weird.
Something that we didn't see happening, but a little peck on the cheek there. A peck on the lips. She didn't have a problem with it. Also,
one of his shirts in the studio had Breakin on it.
How about that? And I feel like we missed a scene that those two had the connection that, I wanted them to have a connection in the movie, but I wanted to see them build that connection. But while this montage is going on, we see James on the phone with people possibly giving them the hookup. It's for another dance competition. James comes in during the montage and kinds of dances with them and also gives them jackets for the TKO crew. So that's pretty cool. And after the montage is done, James meets with Kelly and he's telling her that Franco had a lot more pull than he thought because everybody is denying them a chance to show off their skills.
Which for the agent, I'm a little confused. What would be more important or a higher role in a dance community? A dance instructor or an agent? Or is it just because it's Franco and James? It's not because of their jobs. It's just because of them personally.
It's probably to their ties to the community and how long they've been doing it. I mean, imagine Franco's an instructor, so he probably has roots in somewhere. Okay. And James is just an agent who's just trying to get his person into film or whatever. He probably has more pull in film or whatever than these dance competitions.
Gotcha. Okay.
But James says that they don't want kids with torn T-shirts and spiked bracelets, and unless he has an idea of getting Ozone and Turbo to dress up. And it looks like it works because the next scene is the crew all wearing top hats, dress shirts, and bow ties. They get to the audition and move into the stage to perform. Before they go on stage, they see Franco, and he says something to the stage guy who walks over to the judges, and he says something to them, and one of the judges says, we seem to have a problem. But James says, I'll take care of it.
Well, did you see that Adam, the cupcakes, he was there with Franco doing his dancing.
That's what he's been rehearsing for.
Yep.
The judge says that he doesn't think that they'll fit in, and James says, well, you haven't seen them perform. Just let them dance and dress. And the judge says, I'm sorry. I'm going to ask you to leave. And James says, well, it's your loss. But Ozone says, they're not going to stop us now. And the judge says, who's next? And Ozone says, Ozone, a street dancer. Ugh. And he walks up there to the judges. He rips off his sleeves and looks at each and every judge in the face. And while the one judge is telling him to stop, he starts
dancing.
And the crew rip off their sleeves as well and join him.
And then hip hop music just started playing out of nowhere.
And as the judges
they have none queued up, but
the judge is trying to get people to remove them. One of the other judges says, wait. I want to see this. And the main judge who was opposing it says, maybe, just maybe. And another judge starts to dance and get in with the rhythm. And that's when Franco, he says, stop this nonsense right now. And the main judge says, who was opposing, is now saying, go away.
Which also, Ozone's face at the very beginning, before, like, when he ripped off and things, his face was terrible. Like, it was just like, I'm finally standing up. It's terrible acting.
Well,
but once again, their routine wasn't really cohesive.
It wasn't a great routine. That's why I was like, why is the judges like clapping and happy? I'm pretty sure they've never seen stuff like this before, maybe. But it's like, bro, it's not that.
It's not that
great.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that great.
Well, they're not listening to Franco anymore. Franco says, I thought we had a deal. I'm out. And that's from the TKO crew. Jump on the table, start dancing in front of the judges, and they're all loving it. The crew isn't even done dancing. The judges are all standing up and applauding. And then we see a sign that says, Turbo, Special K, and Ozone in street jazz.
So, my thing, this is so stupid to me, because was this production already a street jazz production, and there was jazz people coming in and doing their thing, or was this production specifically picked because of Ozone, Kelly, and Turbo and their style?
Because they're like,
for sure,
we need to bring this type of dance to the world.
Okay, because it was throwing me off, like, because normally if you're already doing a production and you are not advertising, but you're doing auditions, normally you already know what the production is. So it was kind of throwing me off that they were so surprised that these people, but that is what they do. So
they do.
It didn't really make sense to me, but do go on.
Well, then we get to see the actual play with this cool street setup on stage, and Ozone and Turbo are wearing these cool, amazing red outfits, red and black, and there's a bunch of other dancers on stage with them. Even their competition from Electro Rock,
did you see that?
And backup dancers for on stage.
Little kids that they was training.
Adam was on there too. Or not Adam. Adam. So also Adam and Kelly were doing the same moves that Franco taught them. How are they able to do that? Because if Franco...
It's not copyright.
Yeah, it's not like gimmick infringement. You can't do that. That's my move.
Yeah, I didn't know how that worked.
So this was not only a step forward for Ozone and Turbo, but for the whole breakdancing movement. And that's when Kelly shows up with this main solo performance in this amazing fiery red 80s style outfit. And at the end of the performance, Turbo, Ozone, and Kelly jump off their trampolines in this cool ending scene where it freezes with all three of them in the air over all the other dancers. And then we go over the movie again with the ending credits. Kind of a cool dance style scenes that we got to see. And then Ice-T's rapping over all of it. And that's when we see the words go up. on Breaking. But something different about the credits here. The background is red with white lettering instead of normal black there.
Yes.
How about that?
Another thing is that
First time on We Real Reels.
for me, it was kind of cool seeing Kelly in the red suit because it kind of looked like, what's that lady? Oh, dang, I can't remember her name. Why can't I remember her name? From Ghostbusters. It looked like she was.
Oh, the gatekeeper.
Yeah, gatekeeper. Yeah, same haircut and everything.
Are you the key bearer? Well, after our review, we want to give you some facts that you probably didn't know about the film Breakin.
Extra, extra, hear all about it.
We got the facts.
All right, I'll start this bad boy off by inspired by a real documentary, and Club Breakin was directly inspired by the 1983 documentary Breakin' and Entering, which showcased the vibrant breakdancing scene at a Los Angeles club called Radiotron. Many of the actual dancers from the documentary and the club, including Shabadoo and Boogaloo Shrimp, went on to star in the feature film. Grizz?
All right. So, as we're seeing it right now, I'm pretty sure you guys are probably like, man, this movie is not all that. But back in the day, apparently, it was nominated for 2 awards.
Wow.
The VSDA Award, Most Popular Current Musical, and Best Family Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. Koala?
In the first street dancing scene, in which Kelly goes with Ozone and Turbo to the beach, the audience watching the dancing is comprised of surfers and beach bums. A man in a black singlet claps with the music. It's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I knew it looked like him.
In his first on-screen appearance.
Holy crap.
Panda.
Rushed production to beat a competitor. The film was quickly greenlit and rushed into production by Cannon Films to be released before a competing hip-hop film, Beat Street, which was being produced by Orion Pictures. Breakin' famously hit theaters a few weeks before Beat Street in May of 1984. Grizz?
The 2 people that was in here are actually dance instructors for Hollywood. So, Mr. Alfonso Shabadoo. Quinwans? I don't know. Quinwans or Quinons?
Adolfo?
Yeah. Is it Adolfo?
Adolfo Quinos?
No, it's Quinyons.
Yeah, but that's his last name, isn't it? Quinones.
But his actual dance name is
Ozone.
Shabadoo.
Oh. Ozone.
He was Ozone. And then Michael Chambers, Turbo, who is Michael Boogaloo Shrimp. Chambers. Koala.
According to Lucinda, Adolfo would often try to show her up and make her feel intimidating because of her dancing ability, and their clashes within the film rang true with his personal resentment for her, which also shared by their co-star, Michael Chambers. Panda?
What about that? Ice-T's first film role. The film features an early appearance by rapper and actor Ice-T. He plays a small but notable role as the club MC, delivering some line and showcasing his presence before he became a major figure in music and acting. Grizz?
On the documentary Electric Boogaloo, The Wild Untold Story of Cannon Films, Adolfo Quinons claimed that the film did what the United Nations couldn't do, and that is bringing people together.
Dang, that's kind of messed up.
Koala.
The idea for the film came from Golan's daughter, who one day while at the beach saw a group of breakdancers performing before a crowd. Panda?
Globally popularized breakdancing. Despite its relatively low budget and quick production, Breakin' became a huge commercial success worldwide, particularly in Europe. It played a significant role in bringing breakdancing and elements of hip-hop culture into the mainstream consciousness globally, making it a cultural phenomenon of the 1980s. Grizz?
Despite the powerhouse that Nike is today, today's film featured shoes, Nike Blazers. They were not a good, elevated company back in the day, which Converse and Adidas were above them. But after this film, people wanted to start wearing Nike. Koala?
This was Cannon Films' most financially successful movie as a distributor. Panda?
Lucinda's Dickies dance style clash and rapid training. Lucinda Dickey, cast as Kelly, was a classical trained jazz and ballet dancer. She was a solid gold dancer and had a background in competitive dance. While incredibly talented, her style was dramatically different from the raw, street-oriented breaking, popping, and locking of her co-stars Shabadoo and Boogaloo Shrimp. She had to undergo rapid, intense training in these new styles to convincingly portray her character's evolution. This involved a steep learning curve and the pressure to adapt quickly to completely different movement vocabulary. Grizz?
I ain't got no more.
No.
Man. Okay, so Breakin opened in 1,069 venues on May 4th, 1984, and outgrossed 16 candles, which had more screens, which was 1,240. Panda?
Ooh. Authenticity versus Hollywood polish. There was an inherent tension between showcasing authentic street culture and Hollywood's desire for a polished, accessible product. While Shabadoo and Boogaloo Shrimp were genuine pioneers, the film inevitably had to simplify and stylize some aspects of breakdancing scenes for a mainstream audience.
Oh, that's why I wasn't so great looking in some of these films.
This could lead to creative compromises and potentially some friction between the raw energy of the dancers and the demands of commercial film.
Yeah.
Koala?
Leela, which is Adolfo's, which is Ozone's wife, can be seen during the opening credits. Panda?
The Cannon Films production model. Cannon Films was infamous for its low-budget, rapid-fire production and sometimes questionable production values. While this allowed them to get movies out quickly, it often meant a bare-bones approach. There wouldn't have been lavish sets, extensive rehearsals, or long shooting days to perfect every detail. This assembly line approach, while a fact of life for many actors and crew working for Cannon, could be challenging and demanding. Koala?
Lucinda Dickey was paid $15,000 for her role in the film, making her the highest paid member of the cast and resulting in some friction with her co-stars. Cannon Films had hoped to turn her into a breakout movie star, but despite this film's success, she never became a big name. Panda?
Limited budget and a quick turnaround for choreography. Given the tight schedule and budget, the elaborate dances sequences had to be conceived, rehearsed, and filmed very quickly. This put immense pressure on the dancers and the choreographer, who was often one of the principal dancers like Shabadoo. There wasn't the luxury of weeks or months of rehearsal that many major dance films would have. They had to rely heavily on the existing skills and quick improvisations of the talented cast. Koala?
Lucinda Dickey got the female lead in this film after working with director Sam Furstenberg on Ninja Third. But this was rushed through post-production and hit cinemas first. Panda?
That's it for me.
Okay. Michael Chambers, a.k.a. Turbo, is credited as having taught Michael Jackson the dance move now known as the moonwalk. This move was originally known in the 70s as the glide.
There's another part to that, too. I thought I literally conceded because I didn't think y'all.
For the Michael Chambers one, the one that I just stated?
Mm-hmm.
Michael Chambers taught Michael Jackson. That's pretty interesting.
Do you want to add to that or go to my last one?
Yeah, go to your last one and I'll
okay.
I'll put one.
If you watch after the end credits, it looks like there is a breakdancer that gets tangled up while trying to do a move, and another breakdancer carries him off camera. In fact, he was doing a move called the spider, and part of the routine was for his buddy to pick him up.
Interesting.
My last
indeed.
One. Nice.
Now let's move on to our final thoughts. Dear Casey, I'm a little boy in the 3rd grade. You don't know nothing about that, do you?
Yeah, nope. I don't know shit about
Oh, man, dude. Every weekend, there used to be the Top 40 Countdown, and it was hosted by Casey Kasem. And he had this amazing voice, and he would read these letters that he would get from people, and they'd always start off with, Dear Casey.
Does he sound like Pennywise, though?
No, that don't sound like Pennywise. That's Casey Kasem.
No, what you're saying right now kind of sounds like Pennywise.
He would read it in his voice. Yeah, and he was like, I'm a 7-year-old in the 4th grade, and I love dancing. And he would read the whole story about it. And he had an amazing voice.
I don't know.
But sorry, before we say that, the other part to that was Bruno Falcon, whose name is Poppin' Taco.
Poppin' Taco.
Poppin' Taco taught Michael Jackson how to pop lock.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
It says, showed him the moonwalk, and Falcon showed him how to pop lock. However, Michael Jackson already knew the robot, and evident in the Jackson 5 video, Dancing Machine.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to our final thoughts. I thought Breakin was a good one.
What?
I am a huge fan of the 80s and 90s and the settings that they filmed at, the words that they use. It just takes you back to a better time. I enjoyed the bad acting, and you could see when the actor said action, the director said action, and the actors would just start walking. You could see it. But just finding out that these weren't just true actors, but they were just dancers that had shot a movie makes it even better. It was even richer. I really enjoyed it. But even despite the bad acting, it's not a great one, just probably because of that. It's just a good one. But like I said, man, the 80s and 90s are my favorite times, and the favorite technology, my favorite cars, 80s and 90s, they are just amazing. And I loved every bit of it. But because of the bad acting, I couldn't give it a great one. But it was a good one. All right. Koala, if your instructor grabbed that ass, but says you could make it in the big times, would you show him your dance moves? Or say that Breakin was a good one?
Well, I mean, if he's just grabbing butt and it's not anything further, I don't know. I'll put some thought to it. I mean, if I'm single and...
This trick.
If it's literally just butt grabbing...
Bald head, Skelly wet.
Like...
Got no head back.
What the hell? Okay, anyways... I do think Breakin is a bad one. I am not a big fan of musicals, and also this is supposed to be...
Hey, wasn't Ice-T a part of the Player Haters Ball?
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
Good reference there. Panda, good reference.
Anyways, I'm not a big fan of musicals, and also this is supposed to be a musical comedy. I didn't really laugh that much, if I did at all. I do think all of the actors and actresses were not good at acting whatsoever, but I didn't know that they weren't legit actors, that they were just dancers coming in there. So, I do give them a little bit of a leeway of that, but... I don't know, just there is no chemistry between any of them. Kelly is smiling for no reason, what is supposed to be a somewhat serious combo. I don't like Ozone, how he kept standing up and then he's just being a wimp and then running away. Also, Kelly seemed like she was just leading all the guys on, and that was never confirmed. It was if she actually liked or dated any of them. The story itself isn't too bad. Maybe if they had better actors, it would have come out better. I do find the dancing impressive. Any dancing is impressive to me just because I don't know how to dance. I did struggle watching this one, and I truly will not watch this one again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So full of hate. So full of it.
I gotta have somewhat good acting.
Grizz, if you could use telekinesis to move items, would you be dancing on the streets? Or would you say that Breakin was a good one?
Well, I ain't know that.
He had telekinesis.
What? There was no need for that in there at all.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just not answer that, but this was an okay one. Like I said, I like the 80s stuff too, especially the old slang. Got a couple here. Take a chill pill. Bitchin'. Bad. Oh man, I used to love those ones, man. But yeah, man, I was actually watching it for the shoes. I was trying to see how, I'm a sneakerhead, man. So I was looking at the Forrest Gump shoes. I forgot what they called because I think they make them sometimes, and they had the Blazers. That's the ones that not Ozark. What's the other one name? Turbo was wearing them throughout the whole movie. The Blazers. I actually have a pair. So yeah, but yeah, I was looking up for the sneakers for the cool jive turkey. The sayings, the slangs. The dancing didn't hold my attention like I feel like it would have. In better movies. But I mean, it's an 80s movie, so what do you expect? We're in 2025, man. We got movies like John Wick and stuff. I don't mind musicals at all, but this one's probably up there with some of the best ones I've seen, honestly. I think. But like I said, it's Ice-T in here. It's what's that guy from Happy Gilmore? God dang, I keep forgetting his name.
Bob Barker.
Nope.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The Agent James.
Oh.
Mm.
Him.
Him. Damn,
Luke Skywalker lookalike.
That's Anakin Skywalker, you hater.
Oh, what? Oh, wait.
That's not even Anakin Skywalker, bro. What the heck?
Yeah, she said it looks like him.
Oh.
And they do got kind of the same eyes and hair.
Oops,
but
okay, Anakin.
anyways, we appreciate that. Guys. We sure do. All right, guys. Let's move on to Movie 20 questions. This month is submitted by me.
Hey.
Let the interrogation begin.
So I snuck a peek at his phone, so I already know what it is.
Oh.
No, I don't. But I'm messing with you. I don't know what it is.
Year or genre?
Let's switch it up and do genre.
Okay.
Let's do animation.
Okay. Ooh, that's a good pick for one of our monthly movies. We haven't done animation.
We have Christmas. Grinch.
Okay, well, we haven't done
Come on.
further. Okay, animation? Comedy? Or horror? I feel like horror over comedy.
Sure.
One another one.
I would say action. But yeah, action's good.
Action. Animation, horror, comedy.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to do
Animation.
Okay, animation.
Yes.
Hey.
Okay.
Now year. Let's do, because animation was real popular in the 2000s to 2010s. So let's do 2010. Is it 2010?
No.
Do 90s or 2011, 2025? That's a big jump.
2011 to 2020.
No.
Sheesh.
So either super new or 90s. You want to just do 21 to 25 just to get it done with?
25, get it over with.
No.
Okay. I feel like he went to 80s. I think it's 90s.
95 to 2000.
No.
Ooh. So 94 to 90?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do 90 to 92 or 93 and 4 or 92 to 94?
93, 94.
Yes.
94.
Yes.
Hey.
Okay.
Doing
So
good.
1994 animation.
So let's do studios, right? So
Okay.
Disney, DreamWorks, or what's another one? Warner Brothers.
Okay. Like the one in between Disney and Warner Bros.
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks. Okay.
What was your production companies?
Disney, Warner Bros, DreamWorks.
No.
Okay, so
What about like Nickelodeon? Was that a thing back? I shouldn't ask you that.
two more. Jetlag Productions and then Turner Pictures.
Yeah, I mean, you can ask, but then if you don't answer that, then we can ask if it's an American-made movie after that, right?
Hold on. Is this a Jetlag production? Turner Pictures and Hanna-Barbera.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to ask if this is Jetlag? Because I'm pretty sure they did more movies than the other one. This is Jetlag production?
No.
Whoa. Jetlag. So no on that. So it's
Hanna-Barbera.
Turner Pictures and Hanna-Barbera.
Turner. I like Turner. It's Turner Classic Movies, right? Was that was a thing back in the day in the 90s?
The
Turner
only
Classic
one
Movies.
that I can think of is Page Master.
All right, let's ask.
Macaulay Culkin was in it, and Patrick Stewart. You want to ask if he was in there?
Yeah.
Was Macaulay Culkin in this movie?
Yes.
Okay, so do you remember Page Master specifically?
I vaguely remember it. It's one of those things that I've seen a couple of times back when I was younger, but I don't remember like revisiting it.
I just remember he went into the library. So we're on 14th question. Hold on.
14.
Do you want to ask if it's in a library? I remember that part in there. Is this... I don't want to be like, is there a library in there? Because I mean, like, a lot of movies can have libraries in them.
I mean, if it's Macaulay Culkin.
Okay, so for this movie, Did he seek shelter in a library due to a storm?
Did who?
Macaulay. Yeah.
Okay.
That was your question.
Yes.
Okay, it's Pagemaster. You want to just say Pagemaster?
Yes, Pagemaster.
Pagemaster.
Yes, it is. Good job, guys.
So give us the significance of why you picked this movie.
Dude, I used to love Pagemaster. I love Macaulay Culkin. Okay, as a kid, there was a few movies I'd watch when I got sick from school. And one of them was the Power Rangers movie, the first Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie with Ivan Ooze. Who the Power Rangers? Where's my autograph? Look, classic. And then the next one was Pagemaster. It was Macaulay Culkin. He wanted to hang out with his dad. He was a nerd. He was scared of everything. His dad told him he had to go return some books or something. I don't know what the reason was. He had to go to the library, but he went in a storm. And when he got in there, he slipped, cracked his head, knocked himself out. And then he goes into this animated adventure with 3 books, fantasy, horror, and adventure. And it's a pretty dang good movie. Pretty amazing movie. And back in the 90s, dude, every time a movie come out and it was good, they made a game of it.
Yeah.
They had I think it was a Game Boy game of this, or maybe it was a Super Nintendo game or a regular Nintendo NES game. But yeah, it was terrible. Games are always terrible. You ever play the Home Alone Game Boy game? Oh, it's terrible.
And he like up until what game have they came out with that's based on a movie that was good?
Wolverine. I'm sorry, you wasn't expecting nobody to answer that. Huh?
Also, this
wasn't. But like for real, like that's like up until Wolverine.
The Wolverine game was amazing.
Ever since the 80s when they started making video games, still Wolverine. They came out with a movie. Oh, it's real popular. We can sell a game. Nope.
I will say Shrek had a game.
No.
And I enjoyed it as a kid, but I just remember doing the bird, and the bird ended up blowing up.
Anytime they did a movie first and then the game, maybe, but that's rare.
Well, that's it for us guys at We Will Wills. I hope you enjoyed our review of Breakin', and be on the lookout for our next movie, Wanted.
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie in that one.
Cheers.
And a young your boy
James McAvoy.
A young McAvoy's in that one.
You got Common. You got
Ooh, I didn't know that. I think I might like this movie.
yeah. You didn't know Common was in there?
No, I've never seen
bullets.
it.
We'll be curving bullets and curving reviews, and hopefully it'll be a good one for Wanted next month.
Send me your best breakdancing moves, and I'll send you money.
How about that? You hear that? Send us some breakdancing moves that we can post on the page, and we will send you some money. Not guaranteeing how much, but we'll send you something.
Yeah.
By God, we'll send you
It'll be between $5 and $10.
$5 and $100. You hear that, guys?
Oh.
$5 and $10.
All right. So be on the lookout for that, guys. And if you ever want to make a suggestion for a movie for us to review, or one for 21 questions to see if the guys can answer, just go ahead and email us at werealreels@gmail.com. That's werealreels. I don't know if you guys know how to spell it. It's WEREELREELS at gmail.com, or you can get right into our DMs on Instagram.
Yes, sir. The first person that requests something, we will automatically do it.
There it is. There it is.
After Wanted.
We've got 41 followers on YouTube now.
Yay.
That's something, man. That is something.
Yay.
I mean, you guys out there, I know you guys millions of followers. I'm just saying, for us, that's something.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Amazing. People actually want to listen to us. It's crazy stuff. Anyways, I'm super excited about that. But we got some quiet fans. We got 41 quiet fans. And that's on YouTube alone. We got a few more on Spotify and wherever else. But yeah, just message us, guys. Message us. You can be a part of the show. Okay? You are more than welcome to join us on the show.
Yeah, let us know how we can raise as much, followers as possible. Give us some suggestions. Let us know we suck. Let us know we're good. Let us know anything.
Yeah, just talk to us.
Yeah.
Please talk to us.
We're those lonely losers at the beginning that Brandon was, Panda was talking about.
Shouldn't exist or whatever you said.
That's us. I'm sorry. I do apologize. But that's it for guys. Koala.
Bye.
Grizz.
Yeah.
Keep on reeling.